Hello, Supercars in Seconds here. Today I've got something to share with you I've been excited to do for a long time. The 2023 McLaren ARTURA. Let's take a good look around the car. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the Flux Green FLUX. I was able to order it on the calipers, and when I go inside in a minute, you'll see it's on the piping as well. I did the black pack, gets this nice black roof as an option, the fender vents, which are functional, we'll talk about those, the mirror caps, etc. This one has the tech package, the sports exhaust, all the right stuff. Alright, coming into our hard right hand, I'll try second. Oh, brakes are amazing. That's a bit low, I could have gone into third. So up front, of course, the famous is called the hammerhead line that every McLaren has. Literally a hammerhead shark sort of look as it's scooping through the air. And of course that does force air exactly where they want it. Further down, 3 big radiators, 2 for the rear turbochargers, etc., and a battery pack cooler here. The main battery pack itself is a 7.4 kilowatt unit sitting right there, sort of behind the seats there, with the 19-gallon fuel tank above that. That battery pack weighs 194 pounds. It's heavy. With all of the plumbing and everything that goes with that, the motor itself, all that weighs about 300 pounds. However, it's only 104 pounds heavier than the McLaren 570S in the Sports Series that this car replaces. So moving around to climb inside, I've got this an actual button now to open the door. Looks like a door handle, of course. Push on that and up goes the door. Beautiful angle. It's called dihedral. It has to go up in the air because of the carbon fiber frame in a McLaren, of course. This is a new carbon fiber frame, MCLA, McLaren Carbon Fiber Lightweight Architecture. It's the new frame really since 2012 when we started making the MP412C. This is a brand new frame from scratch. What's cool, you might see how far in I can put my foot there, and they've shaved the top of the frame so I can climb in and out much more effectively. I love this interior. It's a Techlux spec, it's called, with the flux green piping to match the exterior. What you won't see today, you kind of see a little line there maybe. This is a material called hidden till lit, originally used on the McLaren GT and various other models. This allows them to put an ambient lighting circle the area here through that. At night, it's really bright. Rather cool stuff. Of course, the big differentiator from Sports Series before now into a true supercar here would be the power. Over 100 horsepower more, close to 100 pounds of torque more. 671 horsepower from a 3-litre V6. That's 120 degrees. It's opened right up. Then the turbos are up on top of that. 531 pounds of torque, all running through the rear wheels through an 8-speed, a brand new transmission. The 8-speed transmission doesn't have a reverse gear as such. The electric motor goes in, selects first gear, and rotates it backwards for reverse. Rather clever stuff. On top of the rear deck here, which is beautiful, by the way, in one piece. Look at that, from that, it's like an old clamshell on the racing cars. From that door all the way around to that door is one big, huge piece of superformed aluminum. Clever technologies to make it go all of these crazy shapes, even including that look, in just one piece. On top of the motor here, we have this, and you can see it kind of under there, all wrapped up in foil. That's a chimney, literally letting heat out of the turbochargers. They say that it leaves the engine at 900 degrees, and by the time it gets out the top, it's at 270. In other words, enough to cook a chicken. It's really an amazing feat of engineering to keep heat out of that big power plant, of course. The cooler it can stay, the more efficient it will be. So far as other dynamics, the braking, we have, again, 15.5-inch rotor from the 720S. It carries over, as do the calipers. So it's kind of a McLaren's greatest hits in one. Artura, Art and Future combined is where the name comes from. Is using a lot of technology from the big McLaren P1 and the speed tail. The big difference, the electric motors on those cars was off to the left of the engine. On this one, it's in series. You have the 6-cylinder, the electric motor, and the 8-speed transmission all in a straight line. What that's given them is a better center of gravity. In conjunction with a new suspension system that we have on the rear end here, which I'll explain as we go through the car, it really makes it a supercar. They're talking about a 2.9 to 60. As you know, McLaren always underestimates that. But a little over 8 seconds to 125 miles an hour. Now you're getting fast. A day or so ago, I had the car up in the air. So let me show you what's underneath in the back here. It really is amazing to see everything lined up and how compact this powertrain is. So we're going to walk in underneath Artura. We got all the trays and panels off the bottom of the engine. Something super cool. Here is our battery pack, just here. Here is the carbon fiber frame. So I'll knock on this. You can hear that it's hollow. If I knock on this, it's completely solid. You can see how thick it is to protect the battery inside. 7.4 kilowatts. The fascinating thing to me is this lighter colored metal here is the start of the motor. That's the end of the motor. It's only just over 15 inches. That creates 571 horsepower. Just behind it is the electric motor in here. Then your 8-speed transmission behind that. So all working in series where we can have it just the electric motor running, just the engine running, or both. Pretty impressive stuff. In the suspension system, you can see the multi-links, links everywhere, all through here, connecting it up. And then higher up, you'll see the big wishbone that we had before. The back of the caliper is just there. It's just beautifully made. It's like a blooming racing car. Well, it's all very well talking about this car, but it's 671 horsepower. I think it's about time we drove it. I'm going to launch the car. She is warm and good to go. The launch is a much more simple process today. We used to have to wait for the turbos to spin up, so that took a few seconds. Today, they've had more time to develop the car, of course, with the shortages in the world. So they've been working on the other systems while they were waiting. If I push the brake firmly, then the gas firmly in track mode, and then let go of the brake whenever I want, the vehicle will launch. Okay, so as far as driving, I've got her in the ESC dynamic mode, track, and we're going to launch the car. Seating is amazing. This new seat is a brand new seat, and it seems smaller down here, so they can lower it in the car. Super comfortable, a ton of padding in my lower back, just the right amount of support on my hips. Of course, we have the racing seats if you want to go crazy, but I actually like this seat. I think you'll get more use out of it. All right, I'm going to get straight here. We're going to use both feet, so firm on the brake. It changes to L in front of me, and let go. Wow, it just blurred first a second. Into Batman's corner here and going hard. This is, God, just dead flat. It's like a bloody billiard table. All right. Man, it's a powerful car. That was quite a high number. All right, let's try these big brakes. 15.5 inches up front, emergency stop. Yeah. Wow, it's a good one. It's they took the sports series we had before and just turned the volume up on every single sense. It's definitely gone from a mega sports car into a true supercar. So as far as dimensions, it's surprising people in person. Because McLarens are so curved, they always look shorter than they do in real life. Believe it or not, this is the same 179 inches as a McLaren 720S. It looks shorter because the new wheelbase on the new carbon fiber frame is 1.5 inches shorter. That makes the turn-in just fabulous. Coming into a corner, ultra high speed. There's very, very little understeer. It just wants to turn and rotate. What a McLaren does better than most supercars, that I mess with them all, as you know, is follow your inputs. So in other words, if I touch the gas, the car leaps. If I touch the brakes, it wants to know how much braking I want. Really rather cool. So actual dimensions, she's 179 inches long, she's 77 inches wide and just 47 inches high. I love these two new higher exhausts, of course. Very much making the system just lighter and shorter as it comes out of the powertrain. Really an excellent car. This has been a treat to drive. So driver's eye view in the car, just a great looking cockpit, very much a cockpit. It's all wrapped around, even the screen is angled towards me now. It's a much wider screen than before. They've done a nice job. The main display is cool. On this left side, these little dots here means I can use the lower stalk on the left side of the wheel. Got a long one and a short one. The short one here, if I scroll it down, it'll go through different information for me, tire pressures and tire temperatures, like all the way around the car. Kind of cool. Radio station or media setting. This is kind of a fun one. So If I'm charging, I can change the rate of charge, meaning harvesting the electricity as I'm driving. We're currently in electric mode. If I rock this little thing here one time, it'll go up into comfort, and I heard the engine start then. If I take it up to sport, this little arrow is the speed of charging. If I take it up to sport, it'll rock it up. If I take it up to track, it goes up to maximum charging. It charges 60% faster in track than it does in sport. I'll take it back down to sport. Then on the left, I got that little message now, and it says hybrid battery charging, which is the speed of charging. If I put, it says pull stalk for max charging, so I don't have to be in track, and I can pull the short stalk here, pull it towards me, and it goes right up to the top. So now I'm in sport, but I've got maximum charging. I recommend that because then you don't have to plug the car in. I'm easily pleased with this stuff, but I got the backup camera here is like a 160 view, so it's really cool. You can almost see completely behind the car, which is great. The red line there is 18 inches behind the diffuser, so once anything gets to the red line, you stop. Down here, at the same time, I've got my 360 cameras on, and I can touch any of these, and it'll go to the front camera there, touch the screen again, and it goes back to the 360 view. I'm going to reverse out of the building, and then you can watch the doors go either side of the car. Look at this, it's really cool. I love that stuff. Yes, I am very easily pleased. Also down in the main screen, you have my driver assistance, which is rather a nice, when you get the tech package. The technology package is great. You get the 12 speaker Bowers & Wilkins audio. Then you get the driver assistance systems, including adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning at different sensitivities, which is very cool. It'll show read speed limit signs, etc., etc. The 360 camera system is all being part of that system, so it's really, I do recommend getting the technology pack. So this new 8-speed unit is just a mega transmission. The speeds, as soon as I touch it, it's in the next ratio. It's wonderful. Great sound. Very much a McLaren sound. I'm so impressed how they've got that out of a 3-litre 6-cylinder as opposed to the V8s that we had before. I'll click it down third gear. It's just nuts coming up to a stop sign here, down through the gears. As soon as I touch it, it's in the next ratio down. Just impressive. All right, let's have a look here. Yeah, it's powerful. Bit of traffic around, so I'll be sensible. Or maybe not. Whoa! Alright, coming into our hard right hand. I'll try second. Oh, brakes are amazing. That's a bit low. I could have gone into third. That beep there to remind me to change gear. This thing is powerful. Very much a supercar. It is just another level in the industry. To use that electric motor to fill in the torque. Yes, it's a hybrid, but it's not really used like a sort of the more conventional road car hybrids. They're using the electric motor as torque fill. So as it's revving up and the turbos are spinning, that takes time. The electric motor's already banging on me. It's really quite exhilarating. So I got it back in the showroom now, and I'm going to plug the car back in, just because we're using it an awful lot here, experimenting in electric mode. So this is the standard cable, and it will just slot in and click in, and it's got it. The screen wakes up inside, and it will again give us a charging time of how long it'll take. If you use a conventional 110, this is just a regular, it's about a 15-foot long cable, and it just plugs into a regular 110 outlet. That takes 5 or 6 hours to charge, so if you don't need to have a 220 installed. If you drive it with the maximum charging I talked about, you don't really need to plug it in. Well, thanks for watching. I'd appreciate you subscribing to the channel if you don't mind. We have fun with the cars. I got a ton of videos out there. This is actually my 100th video, so that's rather cool. Behind me, Artura has been a real treat. What a great car. We have the demo now at most of the dealers around the country, so you must get out there and give it a try. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.